Today we are talking about how your movie can make it to the big screen without any insider connections, any Hollywood safety nets, or any favors whatsoever. How can you, by yourself, get that theatric release? Coming soon. This is going to be a relatively short video because it is a relatively simple concept. You may hear a lot of things like literary agents. Get yourself a film agent. You need to do the festival circuit or things like that. The reality, guys, is the film business, if you remove that first word, it's just business. And there is a much more tactile way to go about this whole process, of which I have been dabbling in myself, but also plan to utilize this in a much more grand capacity in the near future. However, I'm a self-taught film business student. I have been scouring the internet for years at this point on how to do things like we're talking about here today. And the thing I'm telling you here is not just an accumulation of a video here or a video there. This directly is coming from a podcast featuring the owner of one of the most predominant production companies out there right now, saying if you want to contact this company, this is how you do it and it will work. And that is legal representation. Legal representation. Now, the interview I'm talking about specifically was with the Blum House company. Is it Robert Blum? Let's see here. Who owns Blum House? Or Blum House? I always say it wrong. Jason Blum, Blum House. Forgive me. Anyways, Jason Blum went on this podcast I listen to all the time, and I totally recommend the Indie Film Hustle podcast. I'll put all the links in the description below. But in this interview, at the very end, Jason Blum is asked, what if there's a fan out there wanting to contact Blumhouse Productions? He said, when you have a script, have your lawyer or your agent, which it's like, for us, agents are not in our world, but anybody can contact an entertainment lawyer. He said, have your lawyer, send it to Blumhouse, and most definitely somebody will read it. All right? That doesn't mean you're going to make it, but he said most definitely somebody will read it.
Do not, if you see me, though, please don't pitch me your movie. That would not be a good way to get your movie read or heard about. In fact, it's really not a good way. First of all, you have to have representation, which is just the rules of the game to submit a project to us. But if an agent or a lawyer submits something to us, someone at the company will always read it. And if it's something that feels right for us, more people will read it, and eventually I'll read it. And that's the way to get us to do something. And the other way in is if there's someone, the other thing that always helps is if there are a lot of people, there are almost 100 people who work at the company, and if someone knows someone who works at the company and has read your particular script, fine for that person to call the person they know at Blumhouse and say, hey, you should look at this submission or whatever. I get emails or calls like that all the time. But that's the way to submit us something, not on the street. But like I said, very happy to do a selfie with you.
So, entertainment lawyer, legal representation, that is your ticket into the theatric release experience. Now, oftentimes we go for or target production companies. Now, this is somewhat of a logical fallacy in the sense of, can a production company purchase your film, put it in theaters? Of course. But most of the time, people going for production companies only have a script. Now, I say only. That's a big thing, to have a script. And you can still use an entertainment lawyer to contact a production company to hopefully get your film made. However, if you're wanting to take the route that I plan on using, and you have a full feature-length film ready to go, then what I would do is contact a releasing company. There are companies that specialize in theatric release, digital release, and that's their main orientation as opposed to actual film production. I would contact a releasing company through a entertainment lawyer and have it ready to go. So how could we do this? So right here, I have Googled, if I live in Branson, Missouri, where is the nearest substantial theatric releasing company that focuses on theatric distribution? It pulls up several different companies. I have to do the grammar check there. And then once I scroll down to this AI overview, it gives me some more articulate information along with locations. One of the primary ones I saw was Swank Motion Pictures, located in St. Louis, Missouri, and that seemed promising. So I'm just simply copying that information down, and then I'm going back to Google, and I'm pretty much going to ask it what entertainment lawyer. And I do make some spelling mistakes because in a weird way, I knew people were watching me. But I'm asking what entertainment lawyer has worked directly with first-time filmmakers and Swank Motion Pictures. And it did pull up a name. And that name is Mart Litwick. An experienced entertainment attorney frequently works with independent filmmakers for the first time. All right, so obviously it's a different day. Got the glasses, new shirt. But that would be my strategy, and it is the strategy I plan on using in the near future. Essentially, I would go in person to the lawyer office if that is an option. A lot of entertainment lawyers work on scale or based on scale, meaning however much you end up getting paid in the long run, they would receive a certain percentage of that, of the equity. From my research, I think 10% is usually the go-to. So obviously, if you're making $1 million, they're making $100K. Now, obviously, I think that is negotiable, 5 to 10%. I think it's kind of rare for it to go over 10, because obviously that number grows quite large. But anywho, that is the game plan. And like I said, I would focus more on releasing companies if you already have that feature. If you are like, Jared, I have nothing, I have access to nothing, I can't even rent a camera. I can't bum a camera from a friend. I would write the best script I could. And as Mr. Blum said, I would still reach out to an entertainment lawyer once you have maybe a little saved up, and just submit it to production companies to get your film made. And then the rest is history. So don't need a agent. You don't need to do the best at Sundance. You just need a little business know-how and a lot of creativity and a lot of time devoted towards your craft. Anyways, most of that is free, believe it or not. So anyways, I wish you luck in your filmmaking journeys in the future. Please wish me luck in mine. Other than that, go watch more movies. Go do awesome things. See you in the next one.